Alright, just now we look at group conflict. Now we're looking at personality conflict. So it is normal for us to disagree with certain members in the group. However, we need to know that we are working in a team or in a group, that we should solve our personality conflict so that we are able to actually complete the task or the assignment that is given within the group. So sometimes it is okay to not to see eye to eye, but if you're able to actually discuss it professionally and to weigh in the ideas and to discuss and to argue and to show how your ideas is better than the others, you justify, you provide proper justification, it's fine. But if if you don't separate your personal issue to the task that is given, that would actually create a lot of problem for the whole team itself. So how do we manage personality conflict? So you can actually use eye language. Either use eye language, you can also check their perception or their behavior, or you can also do paraphrasing or check their verbal response. So now let's look at the eye language. If you use eye language, it's more subtle, as in you're expressing how you feel to the person to avoid personality conflict. Okay, if you don't like the way the person is behaving or the way the person is saying things to you, you could actually use eye language to be very subtle to solve the conflict. If you use you statement, as you can see in the example given, or this example, if you use you language, it seems like you are accusing that person, that would create more conflict. If you use I statement, it helps to show that you are expressing yourself and you want to resolve the conflict. Okay, that is I language. Now let's look at what is perception checking. Perception checking is you're checking the person's behavior. So for an example, let's say you're offering an idea to your group, and then during that moment you see one of your group members named Tasha is being very uncommitted and just says whatever and then checks the phone. Okay, so how do you do perception checking? You tell the person, Tasha, when you give a dismissive response to my idea and then start checking your messages, I sense that you don't like my suggestion. Is that an accurate read, or are you just expecting an important message, or is it something else? By doing so, you are checking the person, why the person is behaving as such in your team. So in doing so, you can actually solve the conflict. You check with them, why are they behaving in such. Okay, so this is one way of resolving conflict. Another way is to paraphrase the verbal statement. So for example, a similar situation, when you see that Tasha is being very uncommitted while you're actually expressing your ideas, giving out your ideas, Tasha actually say whatever. So you check, what does whatever means. So instead of saying, you keep saying whatever, it's very accusing if you use you language and you just say what is whatever, that kind of thing. It is bad. So how do you paraphrase? You paraphrase even though it's just one word, whatever, you paraphrase that. How do you paraphrase? You say that from your whatever response, I sense, you see, you use I language. I sense you don't really agree to my suggestion. You aren't really committed to the project, or you just don't respect me. Is it or something else? So when you check their verbal response, you can actually see how Tasha will respond to your questions, okay, when you check by paraphrasing. So these are another way for you to actually resolve conflict in the team or in a group.